Welcome back, guys, to JJ's Football Corner. As you can see, I'm done in my Liverpool jersey today, right? Representing Liverpool today. Essentially after the World Cup, I would, transition into talking about a little bit more about my club, about Liverpool. So Iraola, Andoni Iraola, our new coach, had his first press conference earlier this morning. And I just thought I'd just, share my thoughts, react to some of the comments, some of the things he said. No, I haven't really shared online at least not on YouTube. I haven't really shared my opinions on Arne Slot. The rise and subsequent fall of Arne Slot. I think there's a lot to dissect there. Um, you know, I have my opinions on Arne Slot, but right now I just want to just focus on Iraola's first press conference and the things he said. So thanks guys for tuning in. And yeah, remember after the video, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Leave any comments that you have. Alright, so one of the first things that they asked Iraola was style of play. What style of play should Liverpool fans expect? And I really liked his answer. He said that he'd like to give the fans a team that they can be proud of. And he said, I think football, and especially Liverpool, for me is about connecting with the people, connecting with our supporters. Now, that's something that was missing from Liverpool last season. Anybody who is a Liverpool fan, and I hope Liverpool fans tune into this and, leave comments and, whether they agree or disagree. A lot of fans tuned out from the football last season. I was one of those fans who I dreaded watching Liverpool. It was abject. It was awful. It was not the football that I was used to, right? Jurgen Klopp came in and he absolutely changed the team. He changed our outlook. He changed the way how we looked at football. And for that first season, again, I don't want to go off on Slot, but for that first season, Slot played good football. It was a combination of controlling the tempo of the game mixed with some of Klopp's pressing tactics. But towards the latter end of the season that we actually won, he started implementing his own style. We actually lost a fair number of games, but again, so a lot of us tuned out. We didn't feel connected to the team at all. Like, this was the first time, and I've been watching Liverpool since 2012, really. This was the first time that I just genuinely didn't feel a connection to the team. I didn't care whether not that I didn't care whether we won or lost. It's just the football was just so poor that I just didn't want to watch it. I didn't want to tune in, and that's not me, right? That's not me. Like, I'm somebody who, if we like any one of my friends can tell you, like, Liverpool could be winning 2-0, 3-0, and my heart is still beating fast because, like, I just want Liverpool to win. So for me to completely tune out, the football was abject. The football was really, really poor last season, and I really hope that Iraola delivers on that promise. Just Liverpool fans just want a team and a style of play that they can get behind. That's it. Obviously, yes, we want to win things, but you'll get our support if you give us football that's palatable. We need to be able to watch and enjoy the game. The next thing he says, they ask him, in terms of squad, what do you think you need in terms of reinforcement? And he said that they signed 2 players, and the club is working as this. Me as a coach, selfishly, you want the players on day one ready to train from the preseason. But we understand that football doesn't work like this. So obviously, the World Cup, and further in the press conference, he actually spoke about Harvey Elliott coming back. Now, I haven't been the biggest Harvey Elliott fan. I do think there's a talent there. If Iraola can get the best out of him, why not? If Iraola can get the best out of Stefan Bajcetic, why not? You understand me? Like that. If we can get the best out of Stefan, that probably save us 40 to 50 million in the transfer window. Am I wrong or am I right? Like, if he can get the best out of Stefan, that's saving us a lot of money, right? That's actually saving us a lot of money. So I like that answer that, training is a part of it. You understand what I mean? That training is a part of it. Obviously, we still need to recruit. I will do another video on, who I think Liverpool, should recruit, or the type of recruitment. But I really like that. Talking about training, getting in training, and talk about, that they do need to get reinforcement, and that the club are on it, and that brings some amount of confidence to me. The next thing he talks about, to gauge where the current group is at, what conversations have you had? I'm thinking, have you spoken to Arne Slot? And he said that he spoke to all the players that have been in the World Cup. Very good conversations. He didn't really answer whether or not he spoke to Slot. I don't think he needs to speak to Slot. I don't see why he would talk to Slot. I don't know if Slot spoke to Klopp. I don't know of that. So I mean, why? I don't. He has his style of play. He has his own way of doing things. I don't think he needs to speak to Slot. He'll find out what the culture of Liverpool is like through experience, through being the head coach there, and understanding things. So I'm also happy that I'm also happy that he spoke to the players who are at the World Cup. Starting that bond. That's very good. And then they asked him a very important question. They asked him, "Do you understand what it means to be a Liverpool manager?" And he says, "I want to think I understand. Probably until you are not here, and until I don't go through certain experiences, I will not fully know. But I'm here to experience those situations. I'm ready for it." Now, listen. To be a Liverpool manager, right? Listen, I'm not from England. I've never been to the city of Liverpool. But from here, from being in the Caribbean, and from seeing the fans, I can tell you, in order for you to be a Liverpool manager, you have to connect with the fans. That's one of the biggest gripes that I have with Arne Slot. He did not connect with the fans. Even the season that he won, he didn't connect with the fans. He didn't connect with all the fans. Like, we were happy that we won, but there was just something, well, at least for me, let me speak for myself. There was just something that hindered me from really taking him on, right? Like, right away. Maybe it was just something about his personality. I don't know what it was, right? But I didn't fully grasp, Arne Slot as manager. I'm still grateful for the trophy that we won for the Premier League. Great achievement. But to be Liverpool manager, you have to connect with the fans. One, right? You have to connect with the fans. And two, you have to produce football, like I said previously, that the fans can get behind. It's not just about winning. The football has to be good as well, right? Especially coming on from Klopp. I know a lot of people, external fans will tell us, "Hey, Klopp is gone, stop talking about Klopp." Listen, Klopp changed the standards of the club. And I don't want to go back to that, right? I wasn't there to experience the really, really rough years. So I'm not going to tell all the fans, I'm not going to talk on that. But I've read about what that was like. And I don't want Liverpool to get back to that, right? I want Liverpool, we're on a trajectory now where Liverpool can win things. We're back to being at the top of the pyramid. And I want to stay there, right? I want to stay there. So I want football that is exciting to watch. I want winning football. I want dominating football, right? And if a manager of Liverpool has to produce that, he has to get the team to produce that type of football, and he also has to connect to the fans. So I hope Iraola accomplishes that. I hope he really connects with the fans. He talked about so as mentioned Harvey Elliott. They mentioned the scrutiny of being a Liverpool manager. Can you be the same coach as you have always been, or do you have to change now? And he said, yeah, he'll try to be the same coach. I don't think he has to change, right? I don't think he has to change his personality. I think Iraola is, infectious enough. Obviously, we're not gonna get the charisma of Jurgen Klopp. Like, Klopp is special. Klopp is once in a century, or one of a kind of manager. I'm not asking that of Iraola. I want him to be himself, right? I want him to be himself first and foremost. Um, but I just want him to understand that, hey, we will support you if you connect with us and if you give us football that we like. It's really that simple. Give us football that we like, win a few cups, win the Premier League eventually. Hopefully we get there and win the Premier League. And yeah. Then the another important thing he talked about was the contract situation, where he said, he wants a 2-year contract because he wants to earn the right to be at Liverpool. And I like that. I really liked when he said that. Too many times managers come in with this chip on their shoulder. Hey, it's as if they think, hey, the club needs me, and instead of humbling themselves to beneath the club, they elevate themselves to above the club, if you get what I'm trying to say. So I'm glad that he came in and he's like, listen, man, I want to prove that I deserve a contract extension. That's the kind of messaging I like, right? That shows he knows the magnitude of the job he has to do. He's ready to prove himself. And that's the kind of messaging I like. And the last thing he said was, I believe he said he wants to go into the city, right? And I remember I've previously mentioned that that's very important. You have to ingratiate yourself within the city of Liverpool. Again, I've never been to Liverpool, but I've read up on it and I hope to be there one day. I hope to be in Anfield one day and experience that for myself, right? But you have to, embed yourself within Liverpool. You have the fans have to see you, right? The fans, Slot is kind of isolated himself. And again, I don't want to slug off Slot. I really am happy that we won the league with him. But I hope Iraola comes in and, the staff love him. The people of the city love him. Again, it's not going to be Klopp 2.0. That's the past. This is Iraola's era. And I wish him all the best for his era. Right? I want him to be successful. I want him to whatever objectives he set out, whatever style of play he set out, I hope that he achieves it, right? I think he can do good things at Liverpool. I'm not going to get my hopes up and say we're going to win the league. I'm not going to say that. But I think he's a good manager. I like what he did at Bournemouth. And if he can replicate that at Liverpool with better players and have that players that style of play consistently, I think he will do well, right? And so I wish him the best. So guys, thanks for tuning in. This is JJ's Football Corner. If this is your first time seeing me, I try to post content as often as possible. So leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.